And for Jonny, who, let's be honest, he looks good. He looks pretty. He can kick a ball.
Yeah.
We don't know many.
But what's he ever done?
What has he ever done for us?
Yeah.
He hasn't built the aqueduct. He hasn't built irrigation.
Yeah,
it's not
true.
like the Romans.
Yeah.
He, and he's, with Jonny, he's just nice, isn't he?
He is extremely
nice. That's why people make comparisons with Beckham. They're just nice.
So nice, such nice. Now, when we went to Toulon last year, Bolsh and I went down there and we met Jonny, and we had this long chat with Jonny, and it was one of those interviews that could just go on forever, because you start talking about first tours and England schools and this night and that night. It was brilliant. He spent a lot of time during that interview talking about how much you lent to the team's success, to that England team's success. And while you're certainly someone you're not an unsung hero, you get a lot of credit, probably too much. You get a lot of credit. You're definitely a sung hero of that team. I mean, we don't want you to talk about how good you are, because that would be nauseating. But what did you see as your role? So we all think we know what your role was in that team. But when you took the pitch, what did you see as your main jobs to get the team winning?
It varied a little bit as time went on. I think if you look at the World Cup final, Australia wanted to put a lot of pressure on Jonny in terms of a kicking game. So I sort of ended up, Catty had sort of stepped up to that plate in the quarterfinals when we were struggling with Wales, and I knew I had to sort of step my role up if I was going to get back in that team, and if I was going to be in the final, I needed to put that side of my game forward. So I ended up helping him out that side, kicking wise. But my main role, I think, was I was a little bit of a fallback for Jonny and Will, if could get them out of trouble, carry them over the line, try and organise the defence, along with whether it be Baki or Hilda or Wurzel, whoever was in the team at the time, Mudos, just to make sure that we were solid in D. And then, when it started, you're young, you run around a lot as well. So, Will used to pick and choose where he'd pop up at the right times to make something happen. And so I'd fit that role of helping help the forwards, help the back row in terms of carrying, get over ball, and try and be a bit of a nightmare at the breakdown, and hopefully make things a little bit easier for Will and Jonny to unleash, the back three of Bolsh when it was Bolsh there, Lugs and Benny Cohen, and then when Josh came in and Jason, those guys.
So it's kind of like when you're a forwards alternative would be when you've got, if I ever played with a big carrying tight head prop like a Matt Stevens, he did so much carrying, so many big hits but massive carries. I knew he isn't going to hit anywhere near the number of rucks. So I'm happy to sit under the radar, because I can't do the stuff he does, but I do this stuff well enough. So I will just bash it. I'll hit 40 rucks instead of 25, and whatever it is.
It's ultimately you need
balance.
You need that balance. And what Will did well was he could read the game really well and figure out where he could make the most impact. Whereas I knew that, I could secure rucks, win more, enjoyed carrying, could offload when needs be. So you do that side of it, and I always tried to be a forwards back.
Yeah.
And I'll always remember we played South Africa once, and the guy who restarted it just sliced it a little bit. Probably wasn't my ball, but I came from behind whoever the back rowers at the time would have been Hilda, probably Richard Hill. Overcalled him, jumped, ran straight up forward, sort of tried to bump him, sit him down, straight into the forwards. And I remember getting up and obviously just taking charge, and Nobby went, "Tinch, you're my type of back." Dorian West gave me a pat on the head and ran off. And I was like,
good lad, Chief.
I was always a forward at heart, so I always liked it when the forwards were happy with me. Keep the forwards happy, mate, and then you keep a happy team.
Land Rover, above and beyond.